Well, we made it. We're right on time. Good to see you, Lily.
We did it. Hi, John. How you doing, sweetie?
Not bad, not bad. Was just watching the way the market ended today. It was such a big, hard drop in the first part of the day. It was surprising to see anything coming up at the end.
Got to go look real quick.
All right, I'm going to bring up my screen here so I can see comments. I got two screens I'm going to be using. Hiya, folks. Great to see you. You know what I mean. I can't see you. You can see me. I'm going to get up the news right now. Let's see here. This is news that I've been looking at over the last 5 days, I guess. And this is only OTC news, actually, but it's good stuff. There's no financials. There's no public offerings. It's just activities, things that they're actually doing. All right, I got it all set up now. I'm going to bring it up. Cross your eyes. Bing. All right, let's start this over. Voila. Okay, so like I said, that's news. Well, there is news coming up for the last 4 or 5 days. There's lots of good stuff in there. Some days have lots and lots of news, and some days don't. And in case you haven't noticed, there's a lot of mining news in there. Holy cow, the mines are just taking over the OTC market. My dad used to trade OTC a long time ago. And he said the market old school. Oh, yeah. He had to call his broker, and everything took time.
Fill out the slips.
He used to play the mines, and he said that's what the OTC was. I mean, all the mining companies are on the OTC, and it's like, oh, there's a couple of them out there I see. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Boy, they are everywhere now. And I just don't follow mines because the information is just more technical than I want to learn. So I don't know what it is I'm reading. If they say we got gold or we're making money, I get that part. But if they say, well, I can't even say because I don't know what they're saying. Exactly. Anyways, have you seen anything that really caught your eye this week? Something we did have the Ampaco IPO.
Oh, yeah. And GGII did really good before the IPO. It totally had a build up on that one, which is kind of what I expected, John. I mean, buy the rumor, sell the news. That's usually how it goes. Doesn't mean that if Ampaco keeps gaining that it might have some more momentum, but that was the play,
Well, you know what is confusing to me in all the information, and there was very little information about this spin out with Ampaco. I never came up with a dividend date. I never came up with an X date. I don't know what day you had to buy your shares to get a dividend. But then on the other end, they have not mentioned a dividend. But how could there not be a dividend if GGI spun out Ampaco? GGI shareholders should get a dividend. And I haven't seen one word about that anywhere.
I didn't see that either, but I don't know. I've been playing the OTC for a couple of years, and nothing shocks me with that kind of stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I've had many companies promise dividends.
They promise so many things, and
they never come through.
Or it's almost like they forgot about it,
And there's nobody to enforce it, I guess, on the OTC. I don't think you can get away with that on the NASDAQ.
No, probably not. Probably not.
That's
happened many times.
You were looking at a stock today. I seen you mentioned BX.
Oh, it was the new IPO. John, I'm all over the place when I trade. So we were doing the BIAF.
Well, you broke up there. We couldn't hear you.
It was BIAF.
Aha.
So that's the one I was watching.
Another new IPO?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I was disappointed with Ampaco simply because it only had 1 million shares with no warrants. I mean, that's a ridiculous float on an IPO. But as I said in my video, it was almost an experiment. We have seen lots of Chinese companies here recently IPO with small IPOs, and they rip it hundreds, even thousands of dollars. I mean, that's unbelievable. Yeah. And this is an American company in cannabis. It's not Chinese, blah, blah, blah. So I was just interested to see how it would respond. I mean, it had a bounce, but it didn't get the volume. It didn't get the activity. It just didn't do what I expected.
Actually, I didn't expect it to do a whole lot unless it was to really start going. Then I expected volume to flood in,
right,
for the momentum. But it wasn't substantial enough to catch the market's attention. It's not one of these Chinese IPOs. So with knowing that, seeing how it happened, that's exactly what I expected to happen. Drop back off.
I mean, it's a good company and all. They had a great idea, and right now I think they're still above their IPO price.
Yeah. They came down, but they're actually trending back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I think they hit a high of 41 just before the bell and fell down. And right now they're around 7 or 8, something like that. So, I mean, it's not as big as we were hoping, but I mean, it's not a loser. And Hempock was a legitimate business. They are giving tobacco a run for their money, though I don't get it. Why do you want to smoke it if it don't get you high and there's no nicotine? Just to smoke it seems dirty. So what's the point? But I don't mean to knock the company. That's just a personal opinion, like everything else I say here.
Gotcha. But the BIAF, the reason why I was looking at it, because I mean, I try to look for things that we can participate in Discord since we trade the penny stocks and OTC. It has warrants. So it was moving once it IPO'd. And I was like, look, guys, don't know what it's going to do, but you might want to consider playing the warrants, which was.
I heard you mention, I didn't hear you mention, I read that you had said they keep halting the stock, but they're not halting the warrants.
They're not halting the warrants. That's right.
Right, so and those warrants will do double.
And what was great about it is when the stock would halt, if it was halting on a green candle, the warrants would continue to go up. So you can make so many plays right there. There's so much volatility.
And the warrants are a lot cheaper. Those are literally penny stocks.
Yeah, they're like $2-something. I will say, though, I think it was up like 20,000% because they started at really low.
I don't know if it was post in our Discord. I didn't know what Jackal meant. 22,000. It's a daddy moment. It's
I didn't know if it was like from 1 cent. I don't know what the warrants came out at. I have no idea.
I didn't follow it either. I follow a lot through the day. And, that's been interesting. I was looking at a lot of charts today just to talk about some stuff. And I know people want to talk about the stocks that were running. All these stocks that had big runs and now are way down. And it's like, well, first off, if the stock hasn't got any revenues, like Toner, for example, TONR, Toner's been running for about 3 days. She's a shell company. She says she's got business. They call her a shell risk. I don't see anything, but it's been running for 3 days. Well, I would expect that to fall since they have no value unless there's a deal sitting on the table around the corner. Well, of course it's going to fall. But then you've got other companies that do have good business, are making good revenues, get some good news. It spikes up, but it's just too much excitement. And when it comes down, it should probably stop halfway. But because it's on the OTC and people are we are extremes. We're either running for the money or we're running to the bank. But we're not just sitting around, and these stocks are falling. And I got trapped in 2 of them. Phil and I can't remember the other.
I didn't look at Phil. Did it start coming down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Because I heard a lot of hype about it. I never got a chance to look, though.
All right, I've got the news off now, and let's see. We don't have any questions. Oh, we do have 2 comments. I can't see them. Today,
hello.
I don't know if I'm saying that right. Today, ta-da. Hey, John and Lily, good to see you. And Stocks Wizard, hey, good to see you. Me, right, good to see you. All right, I've got some stocks that we can take a look at here until we get a crowd in. Let's see, we'll get up my page. Cross your eyes or close them, whichever works best for you here. Wow.
Just send it.
All right, let's see. Where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? Okay, let's start with this one. Now, I have already talked about this twice, and this was brought to my attention by one of our viewers on YouTube, Thanom M. He just brought up another one, BRN, I believe it was. Haven't had a chance to dive into that one yet. But this AKLI is a new company on the market, just came on August 22nd. They did a merger with the original company, which is now gone, and they're here. Well, what is most fascinating, besides the fact that it came on at $35, hit $54, and is now down here at $4. Wow. I bought a position of this because I like what it is. It's very interesting and new. This company has created digital medicine that has been FDA approved. I'll say that again. It's digital medicine. It comes in a form of a video game. You actually play the game. It's for kids who have ADHD. And
Okay, I remember.
you play this for 25 minutes a day, 5 minutes, and it's not like the therapy. We have lots of things out there for therapy, therapeutic, how to manage your anger, manage your appetite, manage your habits, manage your time. No, it's not re-education, it's medicine. It actually creates new neural paths, so new habits are created inside, and it changes the way you act. So like any medicine, you act differently. And they have got this out. It is out there. It's you can download it off of Google Play, Apple, but
Okay.
you can only use it through prescription. And that's what makes this unique. They could have marketed it to the consumer for about $250, or they can get it through insurance, which is why they needed FDA approval. Now it can be used with all the regimens for kids who have ADHD. And it seems to me 2/3 of the kids are marked with ADHD
Oh,
because
there's
they
a
won't
lot.
sit still, right? They're just acting like kids. But
That's the thing. If it could be therapeutic, that's huge.
they say it absolutely works. There's already proof behind it, blah, 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 all the good stuff. I seen it come on the market at 35. That's what they actually started their share price at. So I figure 430. Well, this is a real good buy-in price. It's been down to 373. It's bounced around a little bit. I'm not looking for a turnaround real fast. This is a new carve away sector in the medical. Doctors are going to have to be taught how to work it, how to use it.
And that's groundbreaking. That's why I like it, because it's something different. And if they're the first to market to do stuff like that, this could be a nice long term.
There is one other company that does this. That's on the open market. They are called Pear.
Okay.
Pear also has a digital medicine that is FDA approved. Now they're different. This one costs $890, about $900. And I think they're trying to get it through prescription. Now Alkali's already worked it out, because it would be tough to send over to Walgreens or CVS and get a prescription for a video game. So what they've come up with is one pharmacy that can take fax orders, phone orders, digital medical record orders to them. And all they basically do is text you an activation code. Then you go download the game, put in your activation code, and you get to use it. It's supposed to be used in conjunction with everything else. It's not a standalone fix, but it is going to be paid for by insurances, and it'll just go right along with the medications. So I think it's got a big probability of recovering up to its original share price, and God only knows past that. I mean, it's new. So thought I'd share that with you.
We have a viewer that's letting us know that something's going crazy today. Signor Pops. Yep, Signor Pops. Hi. Saying check ALST. So they went crazy today. We got government contracts, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, see it. Maybe I missed the news. I have seen ALST running today. Yeah, you can see my chart. All right, let's get that up here. I was watching that because I'm always watching my scans. So whatever comes up and starts jumping around. And I have a habit of watching the volume number, the most scans. That's not what I wanted to put in there. ALST. All right. ALST. Big difference.
ALST.
Both are legitimate companies.
That doesn't look like it.
Yeah, she was running today. I made a joke about this at the beginning of the week. There were a lot of A companies running. There have just been a lot of A's. Look at that big bounce on the 4 hour. I mean, we just came off of a low bubble here of 002. Come on in on that 20-day. That's the 10-day. That's okay. Right. So she hasn't been doing a whole lot of anything here for quite a few days. And looks like today's the only day. She tore it up right from the start of the day, right from the bell.
Yeah.
Started down there at 002 and is 300% up at 006.
That's a beautiful day. And it didn't go too hard in the very beginning. It's a nice build here. I like what I see on this chart.
Yeah, she rolled. We had a test of the 50 here. I'm sure that scared a lot of people, but that was a solid bounce there. Good solid bounce and a big surge. And on today, I'm surprised because most of the market I seen was falling. So this is a nice climb. Had a couple tests going across here and took off again. And she's ended on a high note. I'm actually going to come down to that 1 minute, see if she's on that high bubble. Well, she doesn't even look like she dipped. She just kept right on going past that high. everything is still ripping right now. Every single technical is on its way up. So she looks really good. Now, did you say there was all kinds of news behind this today?
Yeah, it's just saying very low float and 100 million government contract. I put it on the screen for you.
You got to love those government contracts. 823.
That's sure money right there.
See, now that's the last piece of news I was looking at today was this multiverse-based mega sports village entertainment system. And that's also from the 23rd. Let's see if it's in a filing. It may be hidden in a filing. No, we got nothing here since January. Quarterly report 4 days ago. I'll bet you he got this information over there at Twitter. Let's see what the share structure is. 119 million. It's not a bad float. We can live with that.
Not bad for OTC.
All right, I'm going to come over here to Twitter because it's not showing up there. And obviously, if he's seen it, somebody's seen it.
Well, that or speculation. You never know. Let's see.
Yeah, and that is the backbone of the OTC market, speculation.
It is.
Let me see. Come on. There must be something here. 163 intraday so far. What's up today? 100% massive. Still under the radar. Let's see here. What's here? August 8th, ALSD. Partnership with Media Fusion, huge list of customers working with him, 100 million in contract awarded. Let's see here. This came out May 26th. So this piece of news. Yeah, and I just looked at a piece of news we talked about yesterday that came out in July, and they didn't have any more news. People on Twitter reminded us that, hey, they're closing a deal here in September. All of a sudden, that was
everybody wants it again.
BYOC.
Okay.
We can take a look at that because it's at, well, it was at 666 yesterday. But they say here that they are forming a strategic partnership with Media Fusion and together developing All-Star Global Media. They got a date here. All-Star will deliver 20 million shares of All-Star Health brands on the OTC market as ALST, which is May 25th. Well, that kind of sounds like old news there.
Yeah, that should have already happened. So
yeah.
Additional content and media projects will be announced over the next 30 to 60 days.
Right.
That's a nothing sandwich. What else we got?
Media Fusion's customers range from the federal government and Fortune 100 giants. There's their government contracts right there, which are pretty impressive. I didn't think NASA was the government. I thought NASA was still privately owned.
Good enough. So Tadia says that ALST is back to Pink Current today. So Pink Current would have done this. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I didn't go over there and check, but they have where was it? I have corporate actions. You come in here, symbol change, hit that little arrow, come on down here to tier changes. And this will tell you who was what. This is the old tier, this is the new tier, and it's in chronological order. And who was it? ALST. Let's see if we can find them.
ALST, yeah. Careful.
Oh, I got everybody in the neighborhood there. All right, it's probably further down. I'll just have to keep opening. But this is where you can see this information. You come over here first thing in the morning, you can catch up with stocks that may have jumped from the expert, like this one here. IXRRF jumped from expert today to Pink Current. Now, I don't know anything about it, but I do know that expert market stocks are normally less than 0001. When they come back on the market, that's about where they come on. And whatever the stock's price was before it got yanked, that's normally where they jump to. I'm just going to hit that out of curiosity. 4 cents. So she went up 90% today coming off of the expert market. Now, she may have been higher. She may have fallen back down. But you can almost always count on a bounce on a stock coming off the expert market because somebody's invested in that and they're happy. Sure. And chances are it's at a really low price when it first comes on the market.
Or they're happy because you can play with them now. So careful. So Tadia said, I've had this since early spring. The low float makes it move quickly. Talking about ALST.
Yeah, ALST, okay. As long as they've got actual business, what are their financials? We didn't actually look at that. dropped a little bit here this last year. Now there could be a change of operations, this new deal that they're doing. Yeah, they're not doing anything right now. So they need to get some revenues going. Obviously, a deal is the start of that.
Yeah. And it could be that they went pink current today, but I mean, this could be the buildup for the next, news that y'all might be anticipating. Not sure.
Now they're only calling that 195% gain. I don't know why. It was at 000 or 002, and that's virtually 006. In my book, that's 3. But okay. But it's about where you draw your line, and it's difficult. Looking at that one, BYOC. BYOC is in big data business. They're a 000 stock, and I normally don't show those. But she was a 000 stock, pink, but she has all her green ticks. She's got all her verified information. So she looks good in that regard. And the company has lots of other companies that they're doing business with. And if I remember correctly, they're making good money. Yeah, look at that. Over the last 3 years, steady income, doing $4 million every single year, a 000 stock that has got all its information. And they're keeping most of that money. So they, in July, put out a news press saying, we are getting in charge of this electric car company. Just out of the clear blue, there it is, electric built. And they get full control of it sometime by September 20th. It all becomes theirs. Now, they've got lots of companies they're working with big data, and they say the whole purpose to that data is for cross-selling so that you can bring customers from one base over to another base and make a lot more money.
Exactly.
And obviously, they're probably going to work some synergy here. But this is why it's running, and this is still 3 weeks away. And she started moving yesterday. Now, today she's had a dip. That's the market, up and down. But 0006, she moved 100% yesterday from 0003 to 0006. And that's a big move.
That is a big move.
In the 000 section, that's a big move.
You were saying that I don't usually talk about these, and I'm sitting there like, ooh, give me more, because I love those. I love finding those.
If the company's showing promise, they're already showing revenues. They've already got all their background information approved. They are pink current. Everything looks good about it, except the price is scary. Well, now they got a deal closing with an electric vehicle company, and I don't know a lot. Do more due diligence.
Yeah, see for the catalyst coming up. Yeah,
exactly. And at this price, it starts to run. And what was the share count on this? Oh, is this the one? No, it isn't. No, this is a ridiculous share count.
That is a lot.
15.4 billion shares.
Bless it.
Okay, how we doing up there? Fredo, good to see you, Fredo. If you don't mind,
glad you guys are here.
Tom sign on everything. Yo, yo, yo. Hello. Good to see you guys. I'm glad to have you here, folks. That's why we're here. If you weren't here, well, I can do this alone every day. I do. So I appreciate you being here. A lot of chatter on BYOC. I bought today at, you got yourself a good price because she was up to 0006 yesterday. And let me tell you what, all she has to do is get to 001 and you have doubled your money. And once you hit the 00s, you pick up some more momentum. You start getting a little movement. People are more,
you start getting noticed. You start getting noticed.
Yeah, you're out of the 000s. I mean, it takes a certain type of trader to trade 000 stocks because let's face it, right here at this price, 0005. If this drops to 0004, you've just lost 20% of your investment. Just like that. Bank gone. You go out and you buy a $3 stock and it drops 1 penny. Big deal. That's not even a penny. That's 1/1000th of a penny. So, yeah, it's a little riskier down here. But if you hedge your bets by doing your due diligence, knowing what you know about the company, and what we haven't looked at is the management, that's always very important. But if you can see all the stuff around the company is good, chances are you don't have a negligent management. So I, too, am invested in BYOC, but I got in here a while ago. So I'm just happy to see something finally happening.
There we go. We're moving. And so I see a lot of people talking about HVCW. And yes, I have been all over that, been following HVCW. My charts are trash right now because I messed up my platform. But John, if you'll bring that up real quick, I want to show you something.
HCTW?
HV as in Victor, CW.
That's right. I was looking at this just before the bell went off.
Yeah, this is another. Well, it's a double zero, but it was trip zeros. I've been watching this for like a day and a half. And there's a lot of chatter on this one, a lot of news coming up, stuff like that. But
right
I could
there.
not. Yep.
That's what it's all about, the merger.
Yeah, there's some mergers coming up. Absolutely.
Yeah, they got a merger with a energy company, and they get the subsidiary. Yeah, and that's what this is all about. We've been talking about this a couple of weeks, so you can see a little bit of patience can go a long way.
That's right. That's right. So that's what's happening right now is that it's building up. They're projecting, 100 million in revenue, stuff like that. There's a lot of hype here, but it's starting to get noticed. I was going to call it in our Discord. I really was. But the problem is it's been sitting right up under the huge resistance at 0013. So I am waiting for it to break out above that. It touched 14 today, you guys. Right. But it's got to be stronger than that. We need some full solid candles, and we got to see it holding support. If not, I don't want to buy at the high, the high of that, and then end up losing because it go down pretty quickly. So I've been kind of impatient with that one. If you're already in it, great. Make sure you're scaling up some gains. I'm not sure about the dates of the acquisitions. I'm still doing research on it. But yeah, she's been beautiful.
Is this the one? All right. I wanted to point this one out. The reason I'm pointing it out, I did talk about it yesterday, but it's got a ridiculous float. They tell us here at 6 million, but when I dove into their most recent disclosure, which is the issue because they're pink limited, they're late. So they just put in a couple of filings and they had to redo them. They got those in. And when I read it, it said that their float is actually 165,000.
That's insane.
And yesterday she did 600% jump. Came back and landed somewhere around 250 at the end of the day, 250% gains. And today she's got 25%. But yeah, she's only got 165,000 in her float, and they are going pink current. It's the only thing I can see going on right now. Was there any news that I could remember about this company? No, nothing jumps out. No,
well, a float like that.
Right. I mean, and that was the thing. She only did 250,000 shares yesterday, but she normally does 647 shares a day. So 250,000 was a lot. But when you consider 165,000 shares based on 250,000 volume, that means you had to sell the entire float 15 times over in one day. And that's why she ran. And you see it. It was steady all day. There was not one pullback. It just until she hit her high at 12:30 and then came down and she gave 50% away. But I mean, it was a beautiful run for a small float, and she isn't current yet, but everybody loves a small float.
How's this one's financials and stuff? I mean, are they in any kind of trouble or something we should know about? Because I love playing small floats.
Right. All right. This company they're going up in leaps and bounds here. They went from nothing to 20,000. We got 3 zeros up there to put behind these numbers to 3.3 million at the end of last year. Got to keep most of it. And the last 2 quarters, they're doing near $1 million for each quarter. So they are making money. They are generating revenues. Pacific Software. I do remember this company. This company's gotten into the business of buying restaurants, and they bought a whole bunch of restaurants. Most of them are in Connecticut, one in Georgia, one in Massachusetts, and they've just done it in like the last year after the COVID scare. I guess a lot of restaurants went out of business maybe, and they just scooped them up. I don't know.
Sure, there was a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, and you can see the revenues went from zip to over $1 million in 1 year. People are getting out of the house and eating. So that's their business. That's what they do. And I can expect that that's probably going to get bigger. There's probably a lot of restaurants that they could buy up right now.
Just wonder how it relates back, like their name, Pacific Software. Are they getting away from that, or is there something else going on that we don't know about?
I think I may have read that they're going to be changing their name and their ticker to something that aligns more with what they do. Most of these companies do. Although Curtis Mathis TV is still Curtis Mathis TV, and they ain't selling Curtis Mathis TVs. What do we got here? PSFS. Yeah. Now, Fredo, did you mean PFSF or did you really mean PSFS? I do it all the time, my friend. Yes, there you go. Kind of thought so. All right. We got any more questions out there? I got a couple more we can look at, but I'm glad to shoot up anything you guys have.
I have one to look at while they're getting their questions together.
Yeah.
I want you to pull up GFAI.
GFAI.
Yep. Now this one's not. This is not. Yep. This is not OTC.
Well, good.
But it's a Nasdaq penny stock. It's under $1 right now, which does have its risk, you guys. But there's a lot going on with this one. There's a lot of hype on this one. So from what I'm picking up, 15 million market cap. I think they have some acquisitions coming, like 7 or 8 different Chinese companies. And maybe that's why, because of this whole Chinese IPO stuff. I don't know for sure. But that's supposed to close around September the 30th. So if we were to pull up their chart, we may very well have some more room there. Not sure just yet. We got to wait for the breakouts, but it's definitely been holding up for the past couple of days. So it's got my attention. I'm sure it's got a lot of people's attention.
All right, let me see. My screen all locked up there. GFAI. I was going to try to get some news on it. Let's get this out of the way. Jay-Z. Yeah, we were looking at Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah, we played Jay-Z, all the IPOs. We've done all that.
So she's had some huge runs in the past.
Yes.
Massive. Holy cow. That was from 32 cents up to $1.95. That's almost 300% there. Hit a low bubble of a quarter.
Yep.
And she's seriously broke out over the 200.
Yeah,
just
and
like
the volume, we're looking more serious this time. So there's a lot of people interested in playing this one.
Yeah, we've got some big drops and big bounces.
But I like where it's holding. That's right. If we hold right there, okay, we can play it on the way back up. If not, give it some room. But look at it. I mean, just.
Right, we can see she has broke out down from the 200, and she looks like she's coming down right now.
That's to say, you can give it some room, but keep an eye on this one.
Bouncing pretty much off of that.
Yep.
That support right there.
Yep. And so if you do decide to play it, it goes under that. Get out. Wait for it. Give it some room.
Exactly. So what does this company do? What's their specialty?
Somebody's saying, let me put this up real quick. Wall Street is claiming that GFAI will hit $2. It might. I can't tell you what they do, John. I have no idea. I do know that there's chatter about an acquisition with 7 or 8, but they're trying to acquire different Chinese companies. So I think with the IPO hype with the Chinese companies, maybe that's something to play around with. Not sure. I've noticed the chart, I've noticed the movement, and I've noticed the sentiment and the chatter, and that's really all I got to do some more digging.
I was trying to pull up the news on the OTC market, but maybe I've got too many pages opened up. It's not kicking them out to me. Pre-market med covers, young gravy. 15 million market cap, GFI, which is way lower than micro caps that rank above 50 million. 9% shorts this morning. This was 3 hours ago. Flew up on good news. Shook out the day traders. Looks pretty good to me right now. Volume keeps coming in on the buy side. We should be able to squeeze it. But what do they do, folks? Yeah, this isn't actually a good place to find what companies do.
Nobody cares what they do. It doesn't look like it. Not on Twitter anyway.
Bummer. Let me see. We'll come over here and we'll put this in there and just see if it comes up easier. All right, let's see here. I always just go down to where they explain what the hell they do. GuardForce AI is a leading integrated security solutions provider that is trusted to protect and transport the high-value assets of public and private sector organizations. What is this, like another Brink, except with AI helping them and robots with guns? Developing and introducing innovative technologies that enhance safety and protection. GuardForce AI helps clients adopt new technologies and operate safely in the Asia-Pacific business landscape. Well, any business that succeeds in China, even if it's a little success, measures out to a huge success by American standards because they're just so bloody big. Their consumer base over there is just so huge.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much for a Chinese company to be appealing over here. Let me see.
Tadia says they're
Thailand.
supposedly acquiring 8 companies. And
The company is from Bangkok, Thailand.
Yep. And if that happens, it's supposed to close at into September. So September 30th, we should be seeing more chatter leading up to that. It may die down for a little bit, but keep this one on your radar, you guys, for sure. Very interesting.
What was the share count on this? Not sure what the float is, but it's under 21 million.
That's not terrible.
No, that's not terrible at all. That's cusping in on a low float. So yeah, that's okay. All right, let's see here.
That was my 2 for the HBCW and GFAI.
54% away from 74 SMA 200. Yeah, I love them 200s. I definitely, as a matter of fact, since we're just talking about it, I did bring up, I was just looking at charts at the end of the day, just for setups. I don't know what their catalysts are. I don't know what the news is. I'm just looking for charts that look like, hey, this thing could take off. Don't need to know anything about it. That might even confuse me. I'm just going to play the chart. So I just grabbed a handful here. I'm not familiar with them at all, but I'm not even familiar with what the chart is going to look like. I'll have to remind myself why I looked at it. Now, I did look at these all in the 4-hour. Well, obviously, we can see what's going on there. We got a solid breakout coming out here today. This is ticker QIND, Quality Indo. That's at 32 cents right there. She had a nice big jump. And the trick I tell everybody, this is my PPO, percentage price oscillator tool, on the top. I put my ADX underneath it, which shows me trend. Now, the PPO is like a MACD and the trend setter. Well, when these two separate, you see that big spread that's going on now? Yeah. That is a perfect pattern. You're guaranteed growth on the chart. That is a perfect pattern. It's very easy to see. There's other patterns that will produce growth too. But when you see the two lines coming together and then get close and then start to spread, that's your entry. That's how you know. As soon as these start spreading apart, you know it's going to go up. And as long as that line does not change direction, notice our trend is going up, but this is going down. It could be going up. It doesn't matter what direction this goes, just that it's continuing to go in whatever direction it's in. Don't change directions. So this is looking really good right now. Haven't done any DD. I don't know if it's even worth doing DD. I'm playing the trend. Here's another one. That's a 4-hour chart. It's just running up. It's just climbing, climbing, climbing. Those sort of charts catch my eye. Over the long haul, this thing just doesn't want to fall. It has steps.
That's beautiful.
This is XTPT, Extra Energy Core. And at this point in time, she is at 8.5 cents, roughly. And she started down here at 003. So just, a steady growing stock. You get into trading, you don't know what you want to trade. You're so anxious to buy something. Well, the best thing, if you're not going to learn, if you're not going to paper trade first, and you're going to end up buying something, at least buy a stock that's been running for a while, a stock that's on an uptrend and just doesn't look like, just let the trend, and then you get that itch taken care of, and then you can slow down and study the market the way you should. This is one you're probably all familiar with, Lordstown. This is the EV company. Ride is at a breakout point right here. She is right there. She rolls over this, but when she rolls over it, she pushes. Now, that was just a tap. Here, she's banging her head. Boom, 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 boom. So every time she comes up over this 200, she gets some rise. Well, she's about ready to try it again. So I'm just saying, keep your eyes on it. Our PPO is getting a crossover right at this moment. MACD is at the signal line. Our trend has changed to show that it's not falling anymore. It is now starting to go up. And our RSI just needs to pick up a little bit because the volume has just been hanging in there. But it's one to consider. Ride.
Yeah, that's a good one too. And Freddie was asking for INND.
Oh, again. Yeah, see, now this again is one of those stocks that's making money. They've got a solid business. They're working with Walmart, with hearing aids. They've got their kiosks in like 15,000 Walmarts right now. They just bought 2 subsidiary companies, so they're doing good. They had news come out. They had a big run, and now it's fallen. Everybody wants to know if it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
It'll probably find a support.
That's what the market does. News comes out, it runs. It over exaggerates the value of the news. Yeah. And that's why I'm looking for a 50% loss. I am looking for it to come down at least 50% and hopefully stop there. I'm satisfied with that. That's a solid gain to me. But if you hang around past that 50%, 40%, 30%, you're probably going to end up pretty much back near where she was at before the run.
Yep, you'll bleed off.
Even if you believe in a stock, when it is on a run, just sell at the top. Even if it starts falling, it is a good run. Take it, as Lily says, wait for it to come back down.
Sell 30. Sell.
And now you're going to get more shares. You started off with $500. You made $700. It falls down to $400. You can get $300 more shares. So, in the OTC, you, especially now with the light volume, you've got to take the gains as you see them. This long hold stuff, you can't be worried about it bouncing every other week. You're just going to have to put it on the back burner and not even look at it if it's a true long hold. If it's a swing and you got stuck, well, I got stuck in fill. I did not get out of that last rise fast enough. And look how far it fell. Oh, my God, right? So now we're holding bags on a company that's doing a lot, but still isn't making any revenues. They're on the cusp. Well, what? We're going to have to wait for the next news press, the next filing. We've got to wait for a catalyst. Yeah, the company has value, but it's just not going to grow for no cause. So there's a lot of good companies like INND, Phil, CNGT, NUVG, Cartel. All these companies have had huge runs and have fallen. Not because there's anything wrong. That's just the way the market and the game goes. So now we've got to wait for the next inning. Another Babe Ruth play.
That's right. And we always have to know the kind of market we're in, you guys. So nothing wrong with ever taking profits, ever. That's kind of what we're here to do. But if it's something that you're like, I know it's got more in it. I just know it. I've done my research. Like you believe, right? That's fine. Sell half, sell 30%, sell something as it's massively moving really quick. That's not normal movement, you guys. So take it. And wait for it to cool down and come back down. Be patient. Buy back in. Okay.
Yeah,
you don't have to get rid of your whole position.
Abnormal movement is your key to probably take something. Take some of that profit. You don't have to sell your 100%. That's probably scary.
You don't.
And you're gonna buy it back because look, how many times have you gotten caught doing the same exact thing, riding a surge? And then thinking it should give more, and it doesn't. And you ride it, and here's the problem.
You ride it all the way back down.
This is how I got caught. I waited for the test. I wanted to see, okay, I think it is going to go, so I'm going to let it come down to the next SMA. Well, by the time it had gone that far up, the next SMA was way down here. I mean, to test it, I was throwing away money just to test it. And by the time it tested it, it failed. And it's like, well, holy cow, there goes 25% of my gains right there, and it's still falling. You've just got to learn to take your gains and be happy, even if it runs on. If you take gains 4 out of 5 times, average gains, and you miss 1 every 10, that's going to be better than being caught with 8 bags and catching a good runner every now and then. I swear to God, the frustration alone is enough to get smart because I hate hoping it's going to bounce back.
Do not do that. Do not do that.
Yeah, so take your gains. Don't feel like you're cheating yourself. You pat yourself on the back when you put a cha-ching in your pocket. I don't care if it keeps going. You took money. Would you refuse a slot machine if it only gave you $5? No. You're going to take any winnings you can get. That's the way it is. Why should it be any different with stocks? Don't let your greed get in the way of your logic. Take the free money that's on the table. You can come back for more later. And look, every day we've got plays. So don't worry about it. Just get in the habit of taking money and you'll never go broke. You'll never go broke with that habit.
John is preaching and I love it because he's right. He's 100% right. But also Fredo was asking you what you were talking about when it spreads apart. Was that something oscillator, I think.
Oh,
what's it
talking about these down here?
Yeah, that.
All right. What I was talking about, and I do mention this often in my let's see, we'll go back to Ride. What was that, the one that showed it? No. Kind of got one there. This is the PPO on the top. It's called the percentage price oscillator.
There it
This
is.
is measuring the percentage the price changes from point to point. Your MACD is doing the same measuring, but it's measuring the actual price, not the percentage of the price. So I put my PPO up here on the top, and underneath it, the ADX. The ADX measures trend. It's telling you the direction of the trend. The direction of the line has nothing to do with the trend. It's just about, is it continuity? Is it still going in the same direction? As soon as it starts changing direction, your trend is changing. So with this on the bottom and that on the top, I look for the blue line to come down and the red line to come up, and that is telling me the price is falling. And I don't enter until they come and then start to plane off. And as soon as they start to spread, it's guaranteed the price is going to go up. Your trend has changed and the percentage of the price is gaining. And it's very easy to see. And that's your entry point. When you see them both changing together, they're confirming one another. And of course, you see the price go up. And wait for it. I'm not saying jump as soon as you see it. Always get a confirmation. Take a couple bars, not on the 4-hour chart. Go down to your 5-minute or 1-minute chart. But get a couple bars in the direction it's supposed to. See it getting farther and farther apart. Get in. And as soon as you see either one of these lines start changing direction, your trend is changed. And if it's going up, there's only one other direction it could go, down. Yeah. And if the price percentage starts decreasing, that means your price is coming down. So if either one of these start to turn, you don't have to wait for it to turn. As soon as it starts to turn, take your gains. Take your gains right there. Maybe it does flux back and continue, but why chance it? How many times have you thrown away gains simply because you think something's going to happen? Well,
you want it to.
If you got to wonder, take your gains and chalk it up as a win. Just chalk it up. And especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning between the bell and 10. That's a whole separate day right there.
That's a whole different thing. Don't even do that to yourself unless you are experienced with that kind of movement.
If I get into a stock that's running or I'm in a stock, I already own it, and it just starts running at the bell, if I'm in the green, I'm going to sell before 10 because the market's going to take a dip, hesitation, hiccup, a pause, something. Most stocks do right at 10 o'clock. It used to be an hour. They would call it fool's hour, but I guess we're just in a hurry now. Now we get a half hour for fool's hour. But I don't wait for that coin toss. Once 10 o'clock comes, if it's been climbing and I didn't have to panic anywhere along that way, and honestly, if it starts running 150, 200%, it can fall just as fast. I mean, it can hit a wall and just start to fall. And I will take a gain at 80, 100%. When I start feeling a bit nervous because it's just moving too crazy, I get out. I'll just take my gains. Maybe I miss 50%. But then that 50% that went up, bam, it falls real fast. And I think to myself, would I have been able to get out in time? Would I have been able to miss that drop? Probably not. Looking for the invisible ceiling is how most of us fall off the edge. So I just like to get out as it's rising. You know you're going to get more than you put in. You put in a market order, right? And it's at 12 cents and it's rising fast. By the time your market order gets caught at 16, I mean, isn't that how it is when you buy a stock? You put in a market order, it's always more than you were hoping to pay. Well, that's because it's rising. So you're going to make more money selling on a rise, and you get rid of all the risk. You may not get as much as you want, but if you quit looking at it that way and look at what you did get, you're going to love life.
Yep. So, yeah, you're right, John, but I do want to say, John was saying when it's moving like that, he gets nervous. No. What it is when you're in it and it's up 100 and 200%, when you feel yourself starting getting giddy, when you're getting giddy, like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Sell some of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep doing that. So it's not nervous like it might fall. No, y'all are happy.
Samantha,
y'all did it, and it's going to keep going. Don't do that to yourself. Stop it.
That little voice inside you telling you, there's a lot there.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
And you've all done it because I've done it. He's done it. Don't do it.
You know how bad you feel when you drop the ball and miss the game.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
You feel just as good when you actually do it. And don't go teasing yourself, running back to see how much you missed. That is not fair to yourself. You're diminishing. You set out to do something and you did it. It doesn't, you go to the store to buy one loaf of bread. Just because you left 20 loaves on the shelf doesn't mean you didn't do your job. You went for one, you came home with one. It doesn't matter what's left over. You did what you needed to. So, that's what OTC is about. Taking gains in many machines.
Y'all need to look at the bigger picture instead of this one thing. I think I got it. Take it and go. Take it and go.
Like that, do you, Fredo?
All right. So sorry we got on the soapbox, you guys. We'll get back to you. We got about 10 more minutes, John. VIZC. Tadia wants to see VIZC.
Where is it?
Any legit hope for VIZC?
All right.
What happened?
We've looked at this a while back when she was in good news. There was this April. She broke the 200. She tested it. The second time she came up, she flew. And she got herself from 001 to 002. So that was a solid 100% gain. And it looks like she did it 2 days in a row. Boink, boink. And then came down here to our low bubble of 0004. Has been hanging around down in this trip area for quite a while. Still in the trips, eh? Barely. 0009. She has gotten across the 400 and she's sitting on top of the 20. Now, I love to see the 20 on top of the 200. It really seems to be a good enforcer on the price to push it up.
Try to lift it.
Technicals actually look like they're trying to recover right now. They were pulling back, but I can see the PPO, and this had a glitch. It was going up. You had a little bit of a glitch right there, and then she's continuing on. So this looks not bad. Is there any hope? I haven't looked at the news. I don't know if there's anything going on with this company right now. 5-day, 5-minute days going sideways. She's a trip. You're going to get your barcodes, your picket fences.
Yeah. And then when it does move, it's hitting resistance. You see that? It's hitting it.
Yeah, and I've got a resistance here for something. I don't know how far back it goes. We hit a high here, 001, and she's rolling across this. She's testing it. And I do like the way she tests the 200. She gives it a couple pokes, and then she moves up. And right now, she is coming out of that 000 zone. That should give her a little more respect. People will look at a 00 faster than they'll look at a 000. So I don't know. Did this have any news? Did you see, Lily?
I didn't see, no.
All right. I'll check that out. VIZC. All right. Oh, my God. We got a big float there, 2.7 billion. That's not very nice of them. Got no news available to read here. Disclosures. Had our last quarterly come out 2 weeks ago. No filings since March. Well, I am going to take a stab over here at Twitter. Let's just see if they've got anything for us. I can't remember why she was running in the first place, that first time we looked at her. All right, see what we got here. I'm in the top. So these are the most popular. This came out 5 hours ago. Let me see. When you see 3 million for the day and 2.25 million on the ask on almost maxed out trip stocks, and it should tell you what's about to happen. Officer changed last week with new filing. I didn't see a new filing. And business update should follow next week, in my opinion. Okay. Waiting for updates. I guess that's what you're in right now. I guess we're just waiting for updates. Looks like people are expecting something. I don't know what your updates are for. I don't know if you have some deal in the works or revenues or financials. They didn't audit this shell for no reason. Maybe the audit's being completed and the numbers are going to be given. That's always a big deal.
Maybe.
Stepping up.
Wow. They were talking about GCT. I had to go look at it real quick, John. We played this in the Discord this morning. We've been playing this since this morning, and it's at 27 after
Which
hours.
one?
GCT, the newer IPO for GigaCloud. Pretty sure it's another Chinese IPO, and it's not a penny stock. It's just I had to look.
Oh, right. Well, I tried to get into hemp, Paco. And they wouldn't let me put in a market order. Even on the NASDAQ, I couldn't get a market order put in, so I had to go limit, which is real tough. You got to pick a price and be above.
You have to be above.
Yeah. So I
or
put
you
in
might not get filled.
I put in $14. And it was a $6 share. So it's like, well, okay.
And you still didn't get filled?
No, it was $41 when it came on the market.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You know, something's going on
Dang.
pre-market. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the price is building up, and not everybody gets filled. And I've had other members that put in, I put in 300 shares for this one, and they only got 50 or 75. So that's how IPOs work. It's just hit and miss. You may get in, you may not, and you probably won't get all the shares you wanted. But that's the new thing. That's the new trend. So we're trying to stay on top of those.
Yeah, the Chinese low stocks, if you can get a chance to get anything, all of them are popping. But that's when the rule comes in. Get out fast. Don't. Yeah. I mean, you may get upset if you get to $200 and the bloody thing goes to $2,000. Okay, get upset with me. But you still made $200.
Yeah, you can't get mad over $200. Anyway, but no, if you happen to get 20 shares, then, take your gains as it goes up. And if you want to let 2 or 3 ride, cool. You're not hurting yourself.
Yeah, then let your last 2 or 3
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Because, if it goes to 2,000, those 2 or 3 shares, that's a lot of money.
I want to point this one out to you because it looks to me like it's ready for a breakout, folks. This is Parso-Pal Logistics, ticker PTNYF. She's just about 3 cents right now. She has been waiting for this 200, and that is the perfect setup right there.
That's a foreign.
You got a strong PPO, change of direction. Everything looks set up, so I would keep my eye on Parso-Pal. It's a good price right now. And this one had a run a while ago, and she's testing the 200. She's teasing it right now, banging her head. This is Sponsor One Inc., SPONF. This is at 002. And this is what I look for, folks. I look for stocks that are testing that 200 on the 4-hour or the 1 hour. And if you can see them break that, watch that big bar get on top of it, there's your entry. Now, always look for a test. Very rarely do you get it to rocket straight through a 200 without pausing to see if the floor can hold it. So it'll come up and bounce on it a couple times.
It'll come back. And if it don't, let it go. You're chasing. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. So I covered most everything I had brought. That's good. Let's see if there was anything Valiant. Oh, yeah, there was a deal. I don't think I covered it right there. REMRF. It's fallen now. I'm telling you, it was up earlier today. That's why I noticed it. It was up. This is Atlas Salt. Atlas Salt received shareholder approval for plan of arrangement with Triple Point. Now, the reason I'm interested in showing this to you is because they are giving out dividends and they have not assigned a dividend date yet. And they said that, and I already read the news, they said that once this deal is completed by shareholders and the authorities, that they're going to give a dividend date, which means any shares you buy right now, you're going to get a share. It's actually 1/3 share. So you get 1 share for every 4 shares, basically 3.5, 4 shares of this company. September 7th, they're closing the deal. They have 23 million shares to give out in dividends, and they are waiting for the courts to give their final vote on it. Once that final vote comes in, the dividend date will be set, and chances are you won't be able to buy any more shares of this company. So if you like free shares in companies, do some DD here. I don't know a whole lot about the company, but we like to get stuff free. So REMRF, you may be able to get into a spin out here. I'm not sure if it's a spin out or what they got going, but they're giving away a dividend. And September 7th, they'll close. And however long it takes the Supreme Court of British Columbia to give their decision. And then you're going to have that date.
So we'll see.
All right.
Frodo had said something, or Fredo, sorry, not Frodo, sorry. Fredo had said,
I love a man with hairy feet.
I love Lord of the Rings. But anyway, he said, like the following day, it will continue, right? And he was talking about the momentum plays we're talking about. It's possible. You have to wait to, like when sometimes pre-market, be careful in pre-market. It's totally different than market open. And you may see a pop or you may see a drop off. Those are pretty volatile. So you kind of have to, like if it's up in pre-market, you may see it come down in market open. And everybody gets a little upset because, oh, that was a scam or that was this or that was that. No, it was just momentum. That's all it was. It was them trying to sell it to the next trader. That's all. They were hyping it up in pre-market. So just be careful of that. Watch it. Watch your MAs. See if it's respecting those. See if you're in an uptrend. Those are things to check for, if it's going to continue. A lot of times they give it back. And Gabriel was saying something about the damn Canadians, John, that you're waiting on. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I saw that up there. I saw that
Yep.
up there.
I mean, he's right because he is Canadian. I can verify that, so he can say that.
And something else, I did have a stock here. I mean, you can look at it. I was looking at this. There is
I played that one before.
RCAT drone cover. Anyways, it turns out, I thought that NFTs were a big deal because they did $20 billion last year. Well, drones did over $100 billion last year.
Drones are, yeah.
And they are just getting going. I mean, honestly, I think wars are going to be fought with drones from now on. You can send in swarms to do so much. So you need counter machines to block the drones from getting their reception. I mean, I read a few articles, and this is a huge market. Oh my God, the stuff they're going to do. So RCAT was definitely something that was catching my attention, drone coverage. And then you got Takeoff, UAVS. There are a lot of drone companies out there, a bunch. So you got to pick them. And some of them are working with the military, the government. Some are just working with the local area so they can fly goodies up over the mountain instead of having to drive around the mountain. So you got to pick them out.
Something to look at. And also, I don't know if we have any, before we leave, John, I know we got to go. But I don't know if we have anybody, because I know we trade penny stocks, we trade OTC. Do we have any bigger traders out there that like larger market caps, stuff like that? Are y'all interested in that type of news? Because I got something. If you want it, I'll give it to you. If not, I mean,
well,
I'm waiting.
Give it to us. I'll take it. I don't know if they're going to respond fast enough. Put your coffees down, folks. Heck yeah, if you've got something.
So, I saw it this morning. Palo Alto Networks is going to do a board split, you guys. So that's coming up. You have to be a shareholder by September the 6th. This is a larger market cap. But September the 6th, if you're going to get the 3 shares for your one. And September the 13th is when the split happens. It will open on the 14th after the split. So that's going to take that share price. It's probably sitting around 300s right now, John. So we're going to be in the hundreds range. And you can watch it for the volatility. I don't plan on entering until after the split.
And which ticker is this?
This one, it's Palo Alto Networks. The ticker is PANW. So Papa Alpha. Yeah, Papa Alpha November Whiskey.
Yeah, I like ones I can actually pronounce. PANW works beautiful.
PANW. There you go. So after the split, though, on the 14th, 15th, 16th, kind of let it figure it out. But there might be a good entry there. This is a good company, you guys. So do some DD on that. If you're interested in bigger stocks, I mean, why not cover a few things, John? Why not?
Oh, right. I mean, even if you just buy 1 or 2 shares and just leave it alone, I mean, it's like when Tesla did their split. Boy, wouldn't it have been nice just to buy a couple shares?
I had a few. I'm a long-term holder of Tesla. So
yeah, there's a lot of those.
And that's the thing with this, though. If you look at this chart, go ahead before it splits. Look at PANW's chart. You remember how March looked. You remember our downturn that we're having right now. It's not suffering as much as the market. So that's, pretty substantial there. So check it out. Look at it. Do some research. See if you like it. Could be a longer-term hold. Be patient on your entries. And good luck. That's all I got for you, John. That's it. Maybe next week.
My cup is dry.
That's it. I gave it all. All right. So let's see. Make sure we get other comments before we leave. Brilliant. Can you post the ticker in the chat? I sure will.
I need help and advice on this last stock called WTRH. That's the waiter company, isn't it? The one that delivers food. Again, I think delivery companies, and I think I'm right about that. They're all doing good business, but right now people are getting out. And I think everything that was hot during COVID is going to cool down right now. And everything that was cool during COVID is going to get hot right now, outside of all the economic issues that we got going on. So again, I think a lot of these stocks that we've all been playing that had big runs, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just in very cool periods right now because as OTC traders, we are bouncing around. All of us, aren't we? How many of us are really holding stuff long? We're going from here to there, from here, and we move our money. So is everybody else. And until some news comes out, until some contract, some merger, some great filing, great revenues, they're just going to go sideways because there's no appeal. You know, they got to wiggle their butt a little bit, and then we'll come follow them. Just my opinion as a man.
So Fredo's kidding me. He said winter is coming. I don't know if it's going to be that bad. I mean, we're going to have some downturn days, you guys. We sure are. There's a lot.
Well, summer's supposed to be the slowest time of trading season.
Be careful. Okay. And also, before we go, one last request, John. It's totally up to the wizard, you guys. Fredo says, I need help and advice on this last stock called WTRH.
Where was you, right?
That's to you.
Where were you, Lily? I just got done talking about that one.
That's what you talked about?
Yeah, the waiter company.
Oh, I heard you say waiter. For some reason, I was thinking WTRH.
Now I've got to check to make sure I'm right.
I thought it was a mining company. I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
No, you might be right. I may be wrong. And you know, it's better to find out now.
I probably had my ticker symbols confused. I trade a lot of stuff, you guys.
Waiter Holdings.
There you go. Okay, John wins. My bad.
So,
but
yeah, and I think
this got it.
A delivery company that delivers stuff. And you've got lots of companies doing that now. That's not an easy market to break into. And you got one company here, they're changing their ticker to ASAP. Nice ticker, right? ASAP. And they're going to be delivering anything. You want car parts, you want liquor.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I like that idea.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want, they'll bring it to you. And it's just like, well, that makes sense. I mean, if you're really in the delivery business, why just deliver pizza? One item? How much more money can you make if you deliver 1 million items?
That's true. I like that. Oh,
so again,
the rest of them running for their money.
So I don't see any news over here. I'd have to do some diving, but I do remember reading about it earlier, and it was pretty much about that. It looked to me at the time that they were doing fine from what I can remember. It's just without catalysts, people are moving their money to stocks that do have catalysts. That's all they're doing. We don't have a lot of volume on the market. You've got to put your money where the volume is. That's
right. And when it comes to the overall sentiment of the market.
Well, this is a NASDAQ stock. I got to remember that.
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
It is. But look at that price too, 23 cents. And on the NASDAQ, you do have a price minimum of $1. So if they're down here too long, they'll get a notice and they'll have to tell you about it, being a shareholder, that they have been told they got 6 months to get this price up over $1 and close over $1 for 20 days straight, or they're coming down here to the OTC market. Shame on you. Off to the OTC.
And if they don't, a lot of times to do it, because they don't want to be delisted from NASDAQ, if that's the only thing that's holding them up, they'll do a reverse split. So be careful, you guys.
Yeah.
I like playing these too, but I think a lot of hearts are going to get broken with these companies that are sitting under $1. It's been here for a while. And that's coming up, and they're going to start reverse splitting. And a lot of people are going to be like, what happened? Why am I losing money? The price is $11. What happened? You know, stuff like that. So be careful, you guys.
Yeah, so let's see. How long has she been under $1? Right there.
Long time?
It's about, my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. 8 months she has not been over $1. I'm surprised she hasn't been notified already. I bet if we jumped into her filings,
probably has. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it has one. There's a lot of them,
and it's got to get all the way up to there. That's where the price needs to get to be safe, or they will end up down on the
20
OTC.
Days. 20 days. It has to stay above that.
Yeah, well, it can come down, but at the end of the day, it has to be above. You have to close over that $1.
Right. So
that's the scary part here. And I can see we had a run back there, but compared to this jump, that wasn't very much. Absolutely. But that's your market sentiment. You know, that's what we're into right now. But we are getting the 200 very close. This may have been some early attempts. You can see she tried here to just tap on it. She's going to try it again. but you got to get your technicals here working with you. Everything is in the negative position right now on the daily chart. On the daily chart. On the 1 hour, yeah, you're still in the negative department here. She's very, very hard up right now. So she needs something. That's all we can say. Unless you've seen some bad news, and the only thing I can think of is NASDAQ, but that shouldn't stop the stock from going up if they're doing business. She's bouncing across that low floor right now. I've got a line drawn here from a while ago, and you can see she's on that support, and she's being pushed down now by that 50. And believe me, it's like toothpaste. You get an SMA between a support, and it will squeeze that price into a little tiny bar until it just goes, and it either goes up or it goes down. And you can tell by the direction of your technicals. They'll tell you which way the toothpaste is going to go. And this is getting smashed right now. It's getting tight in there. So I would just watch this. I wouldn't say she's going to come lower, but I really don't know. Just wait.
It doesn't look good. It looks ugly right now. I'll just go ahead and say it looks ugly. Anyway, so the other thing before we leave you guys, and that got me thinking all the stuff that y'all have asked about, and especially these penny ones on NASDAQ. Anybody, any ticker that you're trading on NASDAQ that you found that's a great company, you think it's got great potential, and it's only sitting at 20 cents. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be rich, rich, rich. I know what you're thinking, and I know you bought into it. You're going to hold it long. I know. You need to go check your filings for all your companies you're holding like that. You need to find out, are they planning on reverse splitting? Have they been told? Have they been warned? Because you might not even know what's coming, So don't get caught in that. So
That's
do
true.
that
That's
for me.
true.
Do that
That's
for me.
part of your due diligence. The longer you're in a stock,
we're going back to $20. Please do that for me.
The longer you're in a stock or plan on it, the more you should know about that company.
Yes.
If you plan on being in a company for years, there shouldn't be anything you don't know about that company. If it's available, you should know it because that's your security tied up in them. And if you're playing an OTC stock, you better know everything because in a minute, a long hold on the OTC is dangerous. It really is. There's just too many obstacles that can prevent the stock from climbing all your shares to make it out of the OTC. There's a lot going on down there. It's a wild jungle. So I don't really hold long holds because sooner or later a reverse split comes up. Right now I'm getting reverse splitted to death. Just had another one come up here this week. We got another reverse split. I forget which stock it is. I've been holding it since 2020, well, over a year ago when we went through the February surge. You remember that? We had that February surge with all the stimulus money.
Yes.
That was hot. That was hot. And when it ended, we were all left holding cold potatoes.
It was not hot.
And I've still got a bunch of cold potatoes. And this is over a year later, still waiting for that next bounce. But that's what happens when you start playing spontaneously and not prudently. You need to know about the companies you're in. And if you plan on being in any time longer than a swing, get to know the management. They'll break the company in a heartbeat.
Oh, they'll wreck you. They can wreck you. And then you'll get so frustrated. But either way, if you get stuck in a reverse split, what if you like the company, like Waiter, for instance, you like the company, you think it's got huge potential, cool. If they do have a filing and it's coming, the reverse split could be coming. If you get out now or take your gains or whatever now, let it go through the split. It's going to, come down. It'll find a support. You can always get back in. Don't hurt yourself. Okay. Anyway, guys, I enjoyed it. Take all this knowledge.
Thank you for hanging with us in the overtime. Just get the gabbing sometimes.
Hey, I'm getting paid overtime. No, I'm kidding.
See, that's the difference between me and Lily. She's paid to be good, and I'm good for nothing.
I'm kidding.
We will see you next week.
Y'all have a good one. Take care.
See you,
Trade
folks.
safe. Bye.